Hello there, folks, and welcome to another episode of Toki and Sunday. No, Sandy and Sunday. No, it's definitely not getting called Toki and Sunday because he's refusing to wear his sunglasses. Now, what we have though here is a tiny bone. By the way, those of you who've never seen the show before, this is Toki. He's not an imaginary friend. He's in fact a real dog, as you can see. Otherwise, the CGI in this production would be amazing because it looks like he's following that tiny bone. Now, I'm going to hold this up to the camera. Can you see that? It's a tiny little bone. This poor little dog is so deprived that even this tiny little bone will excite him. Now what we can try and do is put the glasses on. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Yes, look. Cool doggy. Cool dog. Oh yeah, cool. Give me a high five. Okay, he's very good at this. High five. Give me a high five. High five. Yeah. Oh, did you see that? That's bro. Give me another high five. Yeah, what a cool doggy. Wow, that's a great start to the show. Hi there, folks. My name is Sandy Brechin. I'm here as myself today with my exceptional taste in shiny clothes. Now, I'm going to give you a full, a full visualization of the suit I'm wearing. This is an amazing, this again is from my own wardrobe. Again, I don't get any of this stuff specially in. It's amazing. I've got all this crap in the house. No wonder I can't move for rubbish around my house. Now, this is a denim suit which has got a certain shininess to it. Do you like it? It's kind of got some kind of 1970s glow about it. I got this in a charity shop years ago. I've actually worn this on many a hogmanay, and I'm wearing a shiny shirt, also from a charity shop, but a different one. And I've even got on, to match it, my shiny pants, as you say in America, my shiny breeks, and some pointy shoes with white socks. Yes, I haven't worn white socks, apart from with trainers, ankle socks. I haven't worn white socks for about 30 years. I was actually playing a wedding up in Torridon, a friend's wedding a couple of years ago, and the lady there I hadn't seen for 30 years when I used to hang around in Glasgow with the fabulous band Iron Horse, featuring Gavin Marwick, who always gets mentioned in the show. He's going to get mentioned later on as well. My fine fiddler friend Gavin Marwick, I used to hang around with him and hung around with his band Iron Horse in Glasgow in their early days. This lady remembered, she remembered that I wore white socks with him. She was horrified. She was slagging me merciless for the wearing of white socks 30 years ago. To be honest, if that's all I'm getting slagged about for what I was doing 30 years ago, I'm a very, very lucky man. Anyway, white socks there for you, just in case. Oh, a bit of brand sponsorship. I've given up on whiskey and rum, and I'm just going straight to the top. Nike aren't good actually. They're the ones at the conference in Edinburgh, didn't they? Where the virus started. Anyway, don't mention that. Let's get on with the show. Today I have in front of me a frappuccino. It's actually a Guinness glass. I don't know if you can see that. And what I was trying to make was a reverse Guinness. So I filled it up with 3/4 milk and a quarter coffee. But as you can see, it's just turned into a large milky brown mess. But I put some ice in it, or pickled onions, as some people think. John Angus Morrison. And you know what? That's not bad. Now that dog has still sat there all the time during this introduction. So he's going to get another bone. Well done. You can ask him to give a bone when you think he deserves one. Now, here is the accordion, because that's what this show is all about. And we're going to start with a set of tunes from the fabulous Gordon Duncan. Now, I played a set of Gordon Duncan tunes a couple of weeks ago, the Altar Wedding set, which is also the set recorded on a separate video for the Gordon Duncan Memorial Trust grant that they're giving out to musicians in our time of need just now. And just to remind you about it, if you've not heard about it, all you have to do is record a set of tunes up to 5 minutes long with at least one Gordon Duncan tune in it. And if you go to the Gordon Duncan Memorial Trust website, you'll find an application page, and they'll give you some money for doing that, and they will advertise your video as well. Wonderful organisation, and a wonderful composer, Gordon Duncan. Here are 3 tunes that I don't think I've played on this show before, but to be honest, can't remember. Same as last week, it's all spreading into one big long day. Is this week 9 now? Week 10? I can't even remember. Here we go. Anyway, this is a set of tunes called the Jiggle Beer. I played the Jug of Slugs, the Jig of Slugs, the Jig of Slurs the other week. This is the Jiggle Beer. Far more acceptable and tasty than a jug of slugs to drink. And it's followed by Rory Gallagher and The Gathering, 3 Gordon Duncan jigs. Very well, I'm pleased with that. I haven't played these for a while. Now look at this, this is incredible. I don't know if you can see, but Toki is still here. He's loving the music today. Actually, I was having a wee twiddle on the accordion, which is very unusual, before the show about an hour or so ago, and he was sitting, he was cuddling up next to me. I think he actually genuinely enjoys the accordion music. So I'm going to give him another tiny bone for that. Does he deserve another tiny bone? Whoa, yes, I hear you cry out there. Yes, there he is, tiny bone for the dog. This is pure bribery, isn't it? Okay, down boy, down boy. Now, next we have, I had a request last week from in among screeds of absolute verbal diarrhea from Martin Rennie last week. I had a request for some old stuff, probably the old good stuff they used to play, that I used to play in the Hebrides, the Hebrides bar, Hebrides bar down just off Waverley Bridge, and a fantastic pub. Them were the days. So I'm going to play some good old stuff. I'm going to play a fantastic tune. It's me, by the way, Sandy Brechin. Hello there. Fantastic tune called Kate Martin's Waltz. By the amazing accordion player Blair Douglas. Blair was the original accordion tutor for a few years at Plockton, where I'm now the accordion tutor. Took over from him, and he's a very, very funny chap and brilliant accordion player and piper, and he's wrote many a good tune he has. He's written a lot of fabulous tunes, and I'm going to play one of them now. It's probably his most famous tune, Kate Martin's Waltz, and I am privileged to know the very Kate Martin that's named after, because she is the sister of my friend Ewan Martin, the owner of the gorilla suit who I was wearing last week, who I've been in touch with and apologised profusely to for hanging on to that gorilla suit for 20 years. And you know what Ewan said, because he's a really nice guy? He said, just hang on to it, man, until we meet in person, and then I'll get I'll get it off you with the pint. So that's very nice of him. So I may have an opportunity to wear that gorilla suit again, but not if the temperature's anything like today, because me and Toki are roasting. In fact, you know what? I'm going to take off. I've done my part for the show, putting on the jacket. Oh, this is where it gets embarrassing because the sleeves are so tight I can't actually get off. No, I can't. Right now I'm stuck here. You're just going to have to watch me like this for 35 minutes. It might actually be better than me playing the accordion. I'm going to have to pull this off backwards. There we go. So hot. I'm undressing live on TV, on sort of TV. That's as far as it goes, folks. Don't worry, don't worry. Keep the children in the room. Okay, so here is Kate Martin's Waltz, and I'm going to play Midnight on the Water after it. So another beautiful tune. Hot in here. There we are, Kate Martin's Waltz and Midnight on the Water. Thank goodness I put my handkerchief somewhere handy so I can give myself a quick wipe down. How are you, pal? Don't understand how he's not roasting with that fursuit on. Time for another little bone. There you go. Now, if these are so good, I wonder what they taste like to humans. Not bad, actually. Oh, yeah. Stealing your food, sorry. Second thoughts, I think I'll wash it down. A homemade frappuccino. Oh God. What was I thinking? Right, I've got something interesting that fell off the wall today. Things often fall off the wall in my house. It's a nice way to wake up in the morning as another thing falls off the wall that's been rammed up there unsafely. But this was just a piece of paper. And I've got a notice board in my bedroom, believe it or not. I'm very organised that way. Very chaotic in other ways. But I've a notice board in my bedroom. It's got tons of stuff that's been sitting there for years pinned to it. It's not business stuff. Like I've got another notice board that I pin stuff to that I got to remind, you know, do your tax, write a tune, remember you've got a gig tonight, I don't need to worry about that anymore, but that kind of thing. But in the bedroom, it's more kind of, you know, advice to myself. I'll put up a wee note saying, you know, remember to shower this week, Sandy, or you know, remember to take your injections or insulin and stuff because I've got diabetes. Anyway, it's all very useful stuff. But here is something that I pinned up there years ago, and it fell off the wall as I brushed past it, opening the curtains. And I don't know if you can see that. You can't read it because it's back to front, I know. But it says gift voucher. This was given to me in a session. I think it was maybe in the dreadful denizen of the Royal Oak, a place I've been known to visit now and again. And it says, this voucher entitles, and it's got my name entered in here, Sandy Brechin, to listen to the busker without putting money in the hat. Expires 31st December 2012. That's a lovely idea, isn't it? So that you can, so if you're a very nice person and you're friendly with the musician who's busking in the street, this particular busker I met, Jake Williams, he gives you a voucher, and you can stand there with impunity without having to feel guilty and not put any money in the thing. So that's quite cool. I think I'll get some of these printed up for myself because I'll be busking pretty soon, I think. Okay, yeah, because we're allowed to go out now, and I can have a group of 7 people around me. That's great. And animals probably aren't included in that number, so you could have 7 people and their dogs. I could perform for dog walking clubs in the meadows over the street there. Anyway, that's enough chit chat for now. What's next? I'm going to play a set of 2/4 marches. This is keeping up the old traddy stuff. This is actually a set I play with MBO. I'll get it right this time. McCarran, Brechin and O'Hara. And this is our little trio of Gaelic song and Highland tunes. And here are some Highland tunes. These are some fantastic pipe marches, 2/4 marches. They're very complicated ones, so hopefully I'll remember them. And it does go on a while, so bear with me. Toki's still here, amazingly, so hopefully you are too. The first one is called John McCall's March to Kilbowie Cottage. Second one's Captain Campbell, and the third and final, I might have played with another tune on a previous show, is called The Taking of Beaumont Hamel. In fact, yes I did, but it's an excellent tune, so let's play it again. all the parts there. I don't know, I was daydreaming during the last one. Anyway, nobody will notice. Unless there's any pipers watching. I can't see any comments from anybody today because I've done something wrong, obviously. Hopefully this is actually going out live like it says. If not, apologies for not appearing today. So that was a set of 2/4 marches, and a wonderful set they were. I went out to visit my mum and dad yesterday because I could. It's the first time I'd seen them for ages. They were still there, which was nice. Out in the wee village that I grew up in. And they were sitting outside. I took my own mug, my travel mug, which I always have in the car, and I had a coffee. It was very nice. And my mum said, "Are you growing a beard?" And I went, "I'm thinking about it." She went, "Oh dear," which is very typical of my mum. So I was trying to explain that there's not a lot else to do during lockdown, but concentrate on growing facial hair. And I've been working very hard at it. It's coming along nicely. But yes, if the heat carries on anything like this, I may have to shave it off. Now, it's such a, oh my God, there's somebody at the window. Again, I don't believe this. What is going on with this Sunday window thing? Look at that. I think that is William Oak, if I'm not very much mistaken. Oh my God, look, Toki, it's a friend, it's a visitor for you. Now, I'm going to not try and play the accordion this time because I was slagged in your comments for wobbling the camera, so I'm going to be very still. And Toki is just sitting down to enjoy the next part of the performance. This is William Oak, ladies and gentlemen, a very good friend of mine who just happens to have socially distanced himself up to my patio. And he is wearing a lovely tropical Hawaiian kind of shirt there. Look at that, very appropriate for this tropical weather. He's got a lovely pair of shiny shades on to match my shiny shades and shiny top.
I've had this shirt for 16 years nearly.
16 years. He could tell you today actually, he's got a kind of photographic memory, it's a little bit annoying. He can also tell you what he had tea in 1986 on a Tuesday in the middle of March. It's fantastic if you like that kind of thing. Anyway, we've not got time to delve into the incredible mind of William Oak right now. Instead, well, we are delving into the incredible mind of William Oak in another way, because William, among many other talents, he's a fantastic drummer and bass player and some other guitarist. But my favourite thing that he does is invisible trumpet. Will you leave that bird feeder alone? You're here to perform, not twiddle with my bird feeder. Okay, this is incredible. Take it away. What are you going to do for us, William? Sorry, I forgot to interview you.
Oh, hi. I'm going to do a song by a band called War, I think from the 70s or 60s or something.
Right, before you were born anyway, yes, just get on with it, William. fantastic. Little Toki's clapping his paws together.
I've got an audience.
And people upstairs are clapping. There they are. Now, that was, if I'm not mistaken, William, that was a song that was used in the Marmite advert. Is that correct?
That's right, yes.
And have you heard of the Marmite effect?
No.
That's when... that's when, like Marmite, you either love or hate the product. What was the general opinion, folks, on the product? I can't read the messages. If only I could. I'll have to read them later. No, we love you, William. Now, a quick interview before you disappear off to wherever it is you came from. What have you been up to since lockdown has been eased slightly on Friday?
I have been doing lots of cycling. I went to the seaside and lots of swimming, lots of sunbathing.
This man has been deservedly sunbathing because he earned it. He went swimming in the sea without a wetsuit, didn't you?
Yes, once with a rash vest, but I didn't actually keep doing any good, so I just took it off when swimming.
One with a what?
Rash vest.
What on earth is a rash vest?
I bought
This
it
is
in
all
North
news to me,
Carolina.
folks.
Apparently, it's an Australian term for a shirt that keeps you away from being sunburned.
Right, well there you go, folks. Some good advice that we don't normally need in Scotland, but some good advice from William Oak. Get yourself a rash vest if you don't want to end up being burnt to cinder in these unusually global warmed times. We're all roasting like fresh chickens in Scotland, for those of you who are watching in other countries, and we're not used to this. Normally it's torrential rain. These shades are very cool, but they are not just for effect. They are actually to protect his eyes, and I'm interested in seeing this rash vest, but not right now, William. Thank you so much. Leave that bird feeder on its own on the way out, and don't break anything. Thank you. Goodbye. Wow, William Oak, what a national treasure. He should be put in an institution. Being a national treasure. Yes, he should definitely be put in an institution. That's my friend William Oak. Wasn't that nice? Not very. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to cover the screen there. Not very folky. I'll give you, but plenty of folkiness coming up right now with the. We've got the dog in there because I know people complain if you can't see the dog. There's his little face. Oh, hi there! Look at his little cute face. It's time for another doggy bone. Giant bone. We'll give him a giant bone this time. Look at the size of that one. It's giant. Here he comes. Here he comes. Doggy bone. You're such a well-fed dog. Now, what have we got next? Oh yes, I'm going to play some Strathspeys. This is a very traditional show today, but what the hell? That's what it's all about, traditional music. So, this is a very old Strathspey called, hundreds of years old, called Lady Isabella Weems, spelt, for those of you in foreign climes, Wemyss. Yes, I know it sounds like Wemyss, but we say Weems. We say Weems in Scotland here. And that's followed by a tune written by wonderful Ian Hardy, fiddle player from Nairn, sadly no longer with us. He wrote this second tune called Streams, and the last tune is another old one. It's called Mr. Geoffrey Junior, I think, and it was written by William Christie, who, if I remember right, was not only a fiddle player from history, but also a clockmaker. I might have got that wrong. Anyway, not so interested in fiddle players, you know, it's more the accordion players of the past that get me going. Here we go. Don't show your bum to the audience, Toki. Right. decision there at the end whether to play a chord or not. As you can see or hear, I decided yes. I'm not sure it was the right. I'm not sure it was the right choice. Anyway, too late now. As I said earlier, I can't see any of your comments today. I've done something wrong, so it's probably a good thing. Yes, a rash vest, eh? A rash vest. Well, that's a new one on me. I'll need to Google that. God knows what I'll come up with. When he said a rash vest, it reminded me of something I was forced to wear as a small child that was very itchy and scratchy. Was anybody else sewn into their underwear for the winter? Is that just me? Now we've got exactly 10 minutes left, which is surprisingly a lot, because normally I talk so much that the time's all gone. But I've talked less today, and I hope you've appreciated it, all the people that moan about me spraffing on. I know what I'm going to play. I'm going to play another tune by Blair Douglas, because I love Blair Douglas tunes, and this one is a very popular tune, and it's got a fantastic name because it's called Nelson Mandela's Welcome to the City of Glasgow. And this was actually played, it was composed for Nelson Mandela's Welcome to the City of Glasgow, and it was played as a welcome to him when he arrived in the city of Glasgow. I think was that in the 80s? 90s. Anyway, absolutely fantastic tune. 6 parts, all very similar but slightly different, which is difficult to remember, but we'll see if the old grey stuff is up to the job today. I've got shiny grey on, so the matte grey. That's where the real talent lies, or the real talent hides normally. Anyway, hopefully tease it out. I'll play another traditional tune after called the McNeils of Ugadale, but 6 whole parts of Nelson Mandela first of all. Genuinely might have missed a part out of that last tune there because I was daydreaming while I was playing that. Yes, thinking about what I had for breakfast. What I had for breakfast actually was porridge as usual, and I actually managed to slitter some of it over the accordion because I was wearing the accordion while I was eating the porridge. So I was actually practicing, which is how it's taken me 2 months of lockdown, but finally I managed to actually get the accordion on once more than just doing the show every week. But tragically, the porridge slipped down in the grill. There's tiny spaces in there to let the sound come out. Yes, I know you wish you were tinier, but some of them are now clogged with porridge. I've scraped off what I can with my little fingernail, and the rest of it is stuck in there. It'll be a memento for whoever inherits this accordion many years from now in posterity, and they will go, that looks like a bit of dried porridge on it. Wow, how lucky. Now I'm going to have another bone, the dog's bones, because they're so tasty. I don't remember them being quite as big as this. That was tougher. I'll get that one to Toki. Here is another tasty little bone. Oh, which bone will he prefer? Which bone will he prefer? Toki, which bone? Oh, he went for the little one. Good choice. Right, I've got 5 minutes left. 5 minutes of this craziness. Now I promise you another another Gavin Marwick tune. No, I didn't. I just said I'll be mentioning him again later, and I've just mentioned him again. I'm now going to mention him again right now because I'm going to play a Gavin Marwick tune, called "Along the Coast of Norway," which he wrote when me and him and my old chum Ian Bell, that I've mentioned in previous episodes for anybody that watches this more than one episode, we're all sailing in Ian's old tub, the Arshiba, along the coast of Norway, which we used to do many a time in our youth. And it's a beautiful tune, and it's in the middle of a set of 2 of my tunes. The first one's called Super Wasp, named after a giant deadly wasp there was a scourge of them years ago. But they seem to be coming back now because of the good weather. The wasps have been stung by a wasp recently last year. It was very sore. I've forgotten how sore a wasp thing was. I hadn't had one since I was a kid. And anyway, last tune is called Neckbuster. A couple of my tunes with one of Gavin's in the middle. This is probably all we've got time for today, but we shall see. Depends how quickly I play them. I used to play this in a band called covidceilidh. Great band. Phil Mackenzie singing Gaelic, and the Wrigley Sisters. Couple albums out on the Green Tracks label. If you care to purchase one, check out Green Tracks' website. Here we go. Down boy. Absolutely perfect timing. It's almost like I planned that. Thank you, Toki, for all that musical accompaniment. That was actually the neighbours trying to attract my attention at the front door, I think. But Toki went into full-on guard dog mode, where he in his head he sees a giant Doberman's body around him, and he doesn't know he actually looks like a fluffy pom-pom, and it sounds really quite terrifying, as I think you will agree. And he has scared off the neighbours. Yes. He's scared off the neighbours. Well done, Toki. We're about to finish here. I'm going to kick back, as they say in America, out in the patio, and who knows if there'll be a William Oak still sticking around there that I can socially distance with, and we will share a frappuccino and a little doggy bone together. Thank you very much for watching, folks. There's a little PayPal link there. Remember, if anybody feels generous, make a donation, but don't worry if not. I'm just happy somebody out there is watching this show and watching this beard grow. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Woo! What a heap, Toki. Wow, you are one crazy dog. Wow. You know what? I actually like the taste of this boar. I think it's delicious. Remember that bit in The Dog and the Tramp where they've got a bit of spaghetti between them? Come on. Oh God, it's still on.